Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Maybe, and we're not wasting any time. I was going to be like, oh, I'm going to make like videos and like wholehearted. It's okay. We'll just quickly go through this. First off, don't be so quick to say yes. Stop it. I recently got a job interview, and I was so elated. I was like, oh my gosh, I got a job interview. I told the people closest to me, yes, I have this opportunity going on. I come to the interview, luckily it's online, and it was a scam. The whole thing was giving pyramid scheme. It was just dingy, just not giving. And luckily for me, I just quietly blocked, and I was like, nah. Mind you, they had already given me like full, like it wasn't even an offer letter. They were just like, "Oh, you start on Monday." Do I even know what job it was? No, they didn't even explain like the real basics of anything. It was just like a whole lot of talking. Regardless, that whole thing went down, and I was like, "Yo, wow!" Imagine if I was like so desperate and I was like, "Yes, yes," and then I'll just show up to their training and everything, and then this how it would be like some kind of thing that will get like violent, or theft will be involved or something like that. So I think leading up to the interview I started doing more research on the company and saw what the vibe was, and it just wasn't giving. And that already puts me in the sense of like, this is not where I see myself. I think it's really important for us to really see what we are capable of and what the things that we are able to say yes to, in the sense of like opportunities can seem so shiny at first, but then when you take a closer look, you know, I think it's really important. It comes in the place of options. You want to have a lot of options for yourself, and that's just like the first opportunity. And that's something I personally had learned, just because that was something I really wanted. I wanted a job interview with something I really cared about. So it was a student internship for something, you know, and it was just disguised over at that name, but the real roles and real responsibilities were not giving anything of the sort. That's that. Anyway, now moving on to like relationships, friendships, and all the things. I think it's important for us. I think it's important for you to keep yourself busy, even though you're not busy. Keep yourself busy in some kind of way, because when they say that an idle mind is the devil's workshop, in a sense. I just feel like you you constantly think about you wasting your own potential, how the days pass you by, how you wish you could be doing more. And I had thought those thoughts too. I had been in a very depressive episode recently, and recently came out of it. Thank God. So, in terms of saying yes to everything, because that's a separate thing, but in terms of saying yes to everything, I fully said I was going to say yes to everything this summer. Anything my friends propose, I'm there. Good and fine. Until I realized, oh, I had other responsibilities there, in terms of work, in terms of this, in terms of like my own personal, improvement, and, you know, self upbringing, in a sense, and the things to unlearn and learn about myself, those kind of things. And in turn, I think it's okay to be by yourself. I find it, beneficial to spend time by yourself. Whatever it is, as long as you're actively building something, read a book, go outside, leave the screens alone, please. Because I think it's more so like how it affected me as well. Because continuously scrolling, seeing other people's lives, comparison on yourself, yes. But also, it kind of makes you feel like you've lived those other people's lives as well, living vicariously through you. I normally watch like all those like travel vlogs. I normally watch like brand trip vlogs. I normally watch all these things where people are going to different places. Mind you, I live in a very accessible city where I can simply just walk down the streets, take a bus, take Uber, take the train, and go anywhere in the city for a good like under $5. And I'm just like, all the world experience, this and that I'm looking through a screen, I can look at it through my own eyes. That's that. But also, in terms of saying yes to everyone, I'm not the kind of person that I'm not the kind of person that like, I say yes to things that I say yes first, then I'll be like, later, right? Some people are immediately no, some people are immediately, but I'm definitely someone that's like yes at first, and then because leading up to things, but there's also, leading up to things arise, especially if the original plan was just made out of nowhere, just hasty planning, and you just said yes to say yes. However, also understand me. If you have an important commitment, like a friend's birthday or anything that has to do with like a milestone, and you've promised to be there and you're capable, you're able to be there, you have to be there. Unfortunately, you have to. Because you've already made a commitment to that a while ago, and also this kind of thing may not be repeated. However, everyone's instances are different. You know, I don't want people to listen to this and be like, oh, maybe said I should do this just because it's your birthday. But I'm not saying that. I'm just like, you have to pick and choose where you're able to spend your time. Cost effective. Sorry, opportunity cost. What do I gain from being here versus what do I lose from not being here? You know? Think of it that way. I feel saying yes to everything is especially when buyer's remorse, another like business type of term. Buyer's remorse is when you buy something and it didn't come out how you wanted it to come out, and you're just upset. You're like, I'm not going to buy from this place for a long time, or I'm not going to buy from this place ever, or you're just not going to buy this product. So that was me today. I bought food from a restaurant, obviously, again, not going to name names in case, but I got food from this restaurant and I hated it because it wasn't as good. And I genuinely don't hate food, guys. I genuinely hated this one, and I was so upset because I really wanted to eat something good. And I was like, oh. So buyer's remorse in the sense of like time. Imagine you saying yes to something, and even in your gut you knew I wasn't really feeling this. You say yes to something and you go for this event and it turned out bad. You're like, wow, I'm never leaving my house again. I will never do this again. I feel I've had experiences like that, but what has saved me or kind of pushed my perspective a bit differently in those things is that if I already have a feeling that I'm not going to like it, I'm not going to say yes immediately. That's my rule. If my gut is already telling me, well, you're a bit too tired, so going to this trip and doing this may not seem, I'm not going to say yes immediately. I'm going to be like, hold on. However, there's also this thing of you want to be open to experiences as well. Being open doesn't also mean that your boundaries are crossed. If you know you have an exam the next day, I don't understand why you're outside now. Yes, you've memorized it. You literally could do that right after your exam. In fact, it feels more fulfilling. What's that word? Delayed gratification? I think it's also like living on edge as well. You are able to relax after the main thing is done. So that's why now, in terms of yes, I treat it as, okay, this is a reward for myself. So luckily for me, I have plans this weekend. I'm so excited to show you guys. But before leading up to the week, that's going to be on Friday, the end of the week rather, Friday, I have work to do. So I'm telling myself, this has to be done, this has to be done, this has to be done. And then I'm doing this. And whatever I'm doing, I have to make sure I'm doing it well. Work hard, play hard, pray hard. The top 3. I personally want to work harder, and play harder. Praying the hardest. But yes, I think I just wanted to quickly talk about that because it's really something that's like, you won't be the enemy if you say no time to time, but you have to make up for it as well. Because I feel like that's another thing where people feel as though, saying no to plans often considers them as a bad person. Sometimes you're busy. But I think it's also this kind of thing of making it up to someone else. There's this babe that I'm friends with. Again, not naming names. She knows herself. She lives a very, 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 very busy life. Working 2 jobs, going to school, and all the likes. And she was like, I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to promise. She promised me that, oh, we're going to hang out one of these days. One of these days. Mind you, she told me this in like April. One of these days. And I saw on her story she was posting up with other people. Look left, look right. I personally have not like asked, okay, what's going on or anything. But it's definitely this kind of thing of like, there's also an intention that goes behind all the yeses. I don't want to immediately say that, okay, this person doesn't care, or this person does this, or this person does that. But if you're able to say yes to things, make sure you commit to them, you know? In fact, now I'm angry. I'm going to scold her. But yeah, I think that's about it. I wanted to say, whatever weight or whatever this video would have given, I'm glad. But I really did want to get you off my chest, and also I look so cute. Look at the makeup. Or what makeup? But yeah, that's about it. I'll catch you guys later. I already made the promise that I was going to make like higher quality videos, but the only higher quality is my face. So definitely something better is coming up. I just need to really get the vibe and vigor to edit, because I like editing on my phone, but like transferring that to my Mac and all that just is a hassle. But I digress. We're gonna make it possible. I miss you guys, love you guys, and the real video is coming out soon. Love you. Bye.